Alrighty, what is going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the channel for another weekly update. Hope everybody's having a lovely day. And with that being said, let's get into the TA. Alright, so we are going to be starting here on the weekly charts. We're going to discuss those a little bit. Then we'll go down to the daily, and then we'll look at the smaller time frames. And we'll see how those are looking. And then we'll put together a little outlook going into next week, which I'm just going to say, I do expect a pullback before we go into this video. I think things look good. All right, I'm going to also say that I think things look great, but I think next week we get a pullback. So I'm going to start this video off with that. And then we got a bunch of individual tickers to take a look at, and we got some juicy setups on some of those that I think you should put on your radar. And you know what? Before, I shouldn't even be saying should. All right, you can put on your radar. You could do whatever you want. All right, and you be the guy who decides that, not me. Let's get into it. The first thing I'm going to be pointing out, guys, is we have a topping tail here on QQQ. All right, so this is the NASDAQ, and I just want to, I really just want to point this out. We're going to put this here. All right, so we got a lot going on here. We're just going to take all of it off. We're going to have a clean chart here, so I can use my arrow. And I just want to point something out, right? Topping tail, topping tail. Notice how we had a really strong 2 weeks here, and now you have a topping tail. It's normal. You're probably going to pull back here. But I just want to kind of, hammer this home here. When you have this topping tail, we typically don't go up the next week. We can, all right? We can. But you see even this week, all right? So you closed out around 391. You opened down at 385. All right, there was a big old gap down to start the week off, and you had gotten all the way down to 382. So we're at least going to be expecting a pullback this week. Do I know where it closes the week? No. All right. But I do think inside of next week's price action, we will get that pullback. Topping tail, pullback, topping tail, pullback, topping tail, pullback. Here, mark the bottom, but we're talking after these big green bars, and then you get the tail. All right. Let's see. All right. You keep going. You consolidate it here, but, I'd argue, look at this, guys. You have a, somewhat of a shooting star look to it, and I'm just pointing out, here at the tops, you get these tails. You don't typically get them and then continue higher. Topping tail, topping tail. You get what I'm saying, all right? You come over here to SPY. You do not have that, but I will point out, you do have a little wick above. It does not look too bad, and yes, we are at a new all-time high, so this is why I was saying, I don't think things look too bad. I think they look great. I do. I'm still looking for that pullback because of what I'm seeing, but I really do think everything's going to continue higher eventually. Whether that happens right now or not, I think that is going to be the case. IWM also doesn't look too bad. All right, but you do have that topping tail right there. So what if we are about to reverse? But we have like a juicy setup over here on IWM's daily chart. We'll take a look at that in a sec. DIA, and I'm just saying it has the chance of invalidating here. Just because of how things are looking, all right? If we get a pullback over here on QQ, IWM is probably going to pull back too. And it might be harder, all right? Just typically how we, see things go over there on IWM. That's where it's, more volatility is. Also, anything, regarding interest rates, that makes IWM ridiculously volatile. But yeah, guys, again, at the new all-time high, things don't look too bad. You just had a flag. You just broke out from it. And this is another factor that I'm just going to say makes me think, yeah, guys, the upside is not done. All right. It's not done. All right. So we discussed how the weekly charts look. Now, how do these daily charts look, guys? All right. On DIA, guys, on the Dow Jones Industrial Average, you consolidated for a straight month, broke out from that rectangle formation, consolidated in a bull flag-like manner. And now you broke out from that little bull pennant we got going on here, and you consolidate right above it. This thing looks so bullish, all right? I don't care what your bias is telling you. This thing doesn't look bad. It doesn't. And it can turn bad, but let's see what we really got to do. We got to break this low here, and that'll... So we have a high. We have this low. We have a high. What if this is a new low? And what if you set that as your high by breaking that, all right? Right when you break down here, we'll know this is a lower high. Then you have the lower low. And then, it won't be looking too good. But as of right now, guys, you have this double bottom going on down here. You had this, bull flag going on, bull pennant, whatever you want to call it. You also got the double bottom going on. And, yeah, you're, again, just bullish structure. I'm just saying, this thing, I don't care what your bias is telling you. It looks bullish. IWM, what do we got going on here, guys? What do we got? We have the giant bull flag. All right. So it's not giant. All right. But I do think, aside from what we did point out, this thing looks bullish to me. I'm going to point out what I like about this IWM daily chart. First things first, I like that you have this declining volume just in this consolidation, guys. We had the big move upward. You had the big volume off of this hammer candlestick right here. You did have low volume on the actual breakout day, which was bigger than this day. So I'll say that's a little suspicious, but now you're just completely, seeing volume just fall off here in this consolidation. It's preparing for its next move, but I'm going to say the structure as of right now is bullish. All right. Can we see a downward resolution? Yes, we can out of this little consolidation we're having right here. You guys see the inverse head and shoulders I see. You literally had a break and retest go on from up here. All right. You found buyers right here at the retest level. Come down here, the hourly time frame. All right. And I understand there was, intraday stuff I got over here. A little bear flag looking there on 5 minute, I think that was. All right. But if you take away all the clutter, guys, this thing looks really clean. All right. Let's just look at the differences here. You had, what is going on? I thought I clicked that. My apologies, guys. So you have that going on there. And then guess what? Over here, you had your head. And then over here, you had your right shoulder. And then, yeah, you could put a little thing like that. And you could see, like, it wasn't looking bullish is what I'm saying. All right, you do have a little wedge kind of looking thing here, channel. And then you broke out the upside, got that explosive move. But I'm just saying, this looks like it's rolling over. Over here, you're making a higher high. So far, it's a higher low. We're going to have to see how that goes. That's why I said we don't know what happens yet. But to me, the structure was bearish over here. Did have the downward resolution. And now, you had this base down here. We called this one out. All right. And then you were coming down here. I'm sure we called this one out. You literally had the back test right here off of here. Guess what? Found buyers. Broke out from the base. Had this big move up. Now, we're sitting right here. We said you were likely going to break out. And now you're just consolidating. It looks like you're getting ready for the next move. So, I'm going to hold my my opinion here that I think I told the channel the other day, which is I think, more upside is to be found over here on IWM than SPY and QQ. Like, at least over here, you have something to go off of where it's SPY and QQ. But I will say this is in short squeeze territory. We're above all-time highs, all right? I can almost guarantee people are short in here. If you come back here, you're probably going to get a bunch of people covering. And, that's probably going to give you some fuel for the next move up. But now that we're over here on SPY instead of IWM, I'm going to leave it off right here. I think this chart is bullish. I think you're literally flagging, consolidating right here as the right shoulder, preparing for that next move. And I do think it's coming. And that next move, if it takes you, I think it's going to at least take you to 200 to 201, the supply zone up here. But if you could break above, that is when we're going to be looking at come back up here to 205. And that is what I'm really looking at up there. Okay. That being said, let's move over to SPY. Daily time frame. Again, same thing I pointed out over there on DIA, guys. You had a whole ass month of consolidation here. This is 38 days from right here. Very tight price action here, right? And this range is a $10 range. As we've seen this before, and it was over here. You guys see what I'm talking about? And over here, you had 2 months of consolidation. So I'll be clear on that one as well. You broke up. It was right here. You got the start of your breakout. So we're going to say right there. All right, that's 44 days. This is very similar to what we have right now, right here, right now, baby. Right here, right now, ladies and gents. I did not just call you baby. It's okay, baby. I'm just saying right here, it looks, kind of juicy to me. If we get the pullback, I think it's going to be a buying opportunity. And, it can turn into not a buying opportunity, but let price action show us that that is going to be the case before, let's just say, this thing's going to crash. It's probably not going to crash. You're probably going to, have what I just said go down. You probably have a lot of people going short right here. And, I want to get better at tape reading myself. I want to start paying attention to that. I've, given it a shot in the past, but, it's just time consuming. I will say that. But, I can just look at these charts and, you probably do have a lot of people trying to short up here after you're now stalling out after this big move up, this big, extension up, this leg up, whatever you want to call it there. It was a $20 leg from this low to this high. You're probably going to get some sort of retracement here, and it doesn't have to come all the way down to the golden pocket, guys. It very well could just come down here to the 50% retracement. We're going to put it on our little Fibonacci retracement tool right here. All right, right there, 50% retracement aligns with your little demand zone. Now, what is the demand zone, guys? All right, you literally have between all-time high and the high of this candlestick, which is going to be down at 477.55. You can put this on your own chart if you would like. I'm just putting it out there, stalling out. logically speaking, you probably have shorts taking positions. You're going to come down, and they're going to, if they're professional traders, they're gonna start covering, or at least taking some of the profits right here. And then if you start getting, hammer candles that could being put in here, that's gonna show you that, guess what, you're finding buyers stepping up. And then, if I was them, I would be covering, or at least you would then, cover a good amount of your position. You're gonna, support that. And collectively as a whole, the market is probably gonna find buyers there and push prices back up. You come over here to QQ, we got pretty much the same thing. You did have, a false range breakdown right over here. All right, well, I guess it's not really false because you had the $10 break here. Let's just actually look at it this way. You had this, I know it doesn't look pretty, but we're going to do it like that. All right, we're going to go like that, and then we're going to hit control right here. This is the little range you were developing right here. You had the little throw over. I remember this. You had the little throw over up top, and we were saying, we weren't buying it. Why weren't we buying it? You have this bearish divergence going on. So, there is the possibility there, just like we have the bearish divergence going on right now. And you don't know, guys, when these things are going to roll over. You just know that that's your warning sign. So, that's the point when you wait for the breakout. You're not for the breakout. You see the breakout, you wait for the retest because you don't trust it. And then guess what? The retest failed. All right. You did have a hammer candlestick, but then you broke down. So guess what? You also just put in some bullish structure up here. So that's also that. And then we continued higher, guys. I don't know if you guys remembered, but I did think we were gonna bust up through it. We're so close to all-time highs. Why are we gonna pull back and not hit all-time highs? Then you found buyers straight up at the golden pocket right here. Let me just show you the benefits of the golden pocket. Let me actually show you the benefits intraday of the golden pocket, because this is exactly what I kind of want to talk about, or I guess teach about here on this channel for people who don't know stuff about just what we talk about here. Right, guys, if you're new to the market, all you really need is this channel. I got you. All right. I will include, we'll be talking about a lot of stuff that are relevant right now. You can watch these things that we talk about take place like with your own eyes, pretty much immediately. All right. Instant gratification is what you'll find here on this channel. But so for that reason, just follow along and you'll learn. That's all I'm really getting at. If you want to learn, that's exactly how to learn. Just follow along. You see right here, so this is the hammer candlestick. So this is what I'm talking about, guys. So you always want like, a signal candlestick to show you. Candlesticks in general are going to show you what's going on. This is, capitulation on the long side here. All right. That's what's going on here. But bears are nowhere to be seen. Then guess what? You broke out. You had the retest here, and you put in a pin bar / hammer candlestick. It's a bullish candlestick. You can guess the next one's going to be bullish, right? Because people are, holding the line over here. All right. Positions were had over here. All right. When you came down, guess what? You have this doji candlestick, indecision, the shares are changing hands down here. That is what happened. You end up breaking out. You came back. What happened? You found buyers right here at the golden pocket. And on top of that, that was at the, break and retest trend line we got going on right here. Because this is really what you want to be looking for on smaller time frames intraday. If you don't know what to look for, guys, I do provide everyday intraday analysis. We happen to call like pretty much every top and bottom over there. We kind of just, when I see warning signs here on these smaller time frames, I'll let you know about them. Here's over here. You're sitting right here in the golden pocket. Guess what? All right. You could, I don't know. That's all I'm saying. So if you don't know what to look for, I got you over there. But aside from that, guys, just follow along on the channel. We show so many examples here. All right. So we've really talked about things. I do think things are going to be rolling over. You can see, like, I made my point on the weekly chart. That's why I wanted to start with things. I want to also make the point that I do think these dips are going to be bought up at the previous highs. All right. You're going to have your zones down here. I know we cleared these charts, but let's just, we didn't really rebuild this QQQ chart. Let's rebuild the QQQ chart. And guess what? You really do just have a channel going on here. And if you want to pull back here, you literally will just, you'll pull back to the top of it. We got to recreate this channel. I forgot where it was. Now that I do this, oh, there we go. And then, I think that is the channel we're watching. Maybe right here. Yeah. Okay. I think that's, you can go back to the beginning of the video if you want to fact check this channel we just put on this chart. But whatever I had at the beginning of the video, that's the one the price has been respecting. Right here, guys, if you pull back, guess what? it's just gonna be to the break and retest level, and then you very well could go up to a new high, which is gonna be at the top of the channel all the way up at 435. So I'm just putting it out there, guys. I don't think there's anything really, to run from here. Guys, look, golden pocket test. So this is what I was just talking about. Just the confluence going on. It's kind of crazy looking. And if you slap on that 9, guess what? I was trying to tell you guys, all right, we were up at the upper Bollinger Band. Let's come back over. So this is what we reviewed on, it was either Wednesday or Thursday. Right here, you opened and you got underneath it the last few times. Guess what, guys? You kind of like to stall out up here. If you open and close, that's typically going to lead to some sort of pullback. So I'm not bearish on these markets, but I was looking for that pullback. You come over here to SPY. I know we got a lot of clutter here on the intraday analysis that we're just doing, the smaller time frames. But guess what? You're also just right in the top. But over here, you opened and closed like pretty much above it. Same thing over here. We're not really looking to, why are you going to long this thing? Unless you're an intraday trader, just playing the moves that I was just speaking about. Guys, you could really you could do a lot with divergences, trend lines, just knowing your structure, knowing trend. And, yeah, that's really it, guys. You can continuously find these just pretty obvious pivots here on SPY. SPY specifically is just extremely clean. You see what I'm talking about? I'm not even just talking about the trend line break, but you got inverse head and shoulders going on here. And what do we have marking the bottom? We had the bullish divergence. Well, what do you have over here, guys? You had the bullish divergence. What are you also in? All right. You're in a descending channel. What happens when you break the descending channel? Well, the fact that you had the bullish divergence suggests you're going to have an upward resolution. You're going to see it go. And guess what? You saw it go. But you can even watch all the way back over here. You had this trend line. You back tested the trend line over here, and then you continue putting in the divergences. Guess what? It's probably going to be Ian. Oh, what happened? You pulled back to the exact previous high with the triple bullish divergence here on the 5-minute RSI, and you are back testing the trend line you broke out from earlier in the trading session. There was a solid chance it was going to be bought up. So these are the little intraday things I'm telling you about. If you're seeing the Bollinger Bands, guess what? These are the things you're going to be trading. But, there's really no point in looking for a, more dated setup here that you're going to be holding positions overnight and stuff on. Maybe the one-night swings like I was just discussing, like you got a wedge going on. All right. And then, things were looking not too bad over here. You broke to the upside. Now you're just finding buyers here at the Gold Podcast. Things are looking pretty good. All right. But until we get the more of a pullback here, which specifically I'm looking for 480, baby, 480. If we can't get that, I'm just saying you're going to keep watching these intraday setups going on here, and we're not going to get much more. Once we get that pullback, though, that's when I think across the board we're going to see a lot of these set up. Now, that brings me to the next segment of this video, which is going to be, all right, it is going to be the orange list. What is on the orange list, guys? We are going to be covering what setups we're paying attention to. Now, this first one we're going to be mentioning is ZOM. Why are we mentioning ZOM? Because we mentioned ZOM the other day. Guess what ZOM is doing? You had the bullish divergence going on. You were down here at the bottom of this potential fallen wedge. You've now broken out of that fallen wedge. You flipped to 9. What has happened now? You're now at this trend line. We told you if you could break above this one, you're probably going to run up here and break that one. And at that point, you're going to come all the way up here to 105.70, which is, all coming all the way back over here. The low of this candlestick, 105.72. All right, this is really your zone, your heavily traded zone here on Mr. ZOM. That we're going to dance around. So you're probably going to find sellers here. And then what are we going to be looking for, guys? We're going to be looking for some action like that, baby. And then you're going to back test that. And maybe you're not going to hold that trend line, come all the way back here. And then you have, what do we got going on? We got like the golden pocket test going on, all right? So either way, guys, I'm bullish on ZOM. I was bullish on US oil. I was bullish on Oxy the other day. We're calling all of these guys, and these are the things that I'm going to let you know about on this channel. This is, the second half of every video we're doing. We're talking about stocks that are relevant right now. All right, this one over here, guess what? You didn't have any bullish divergence going on, but what you did have is you had buyers stepping right here at long-term support. And then I'm just going to remind everyone over here what caused this little gap up. And then you came all the way back down. Berkshire Hathaway now owns, all right, so Warren Buffett, Berkshire Hathaway owns like 30-something% of this company or something like that. Maybe they own over half. It was whatever announcement caused that, but people may have forgotten. Your boy Henry's not going to forget. So you had Oxy over there, but Zama is the one I really like going on now. I liked it at the bottom here when you find buyers here. I liked it when you start flipping the 9. Now I'm really liking it, guys. All right, so you know that's going on. Short-term trade ideas coming your way. Amazon, all right, you are in this rising wedge. I do think things are going to be pulling back. You do still have this bearish diverge going on here on the daily RSI. All right, you do have increasing volume on the day on this shooting star candlestick. Solid shot, you do start breaking down. All right, so just keep it on the radar here. I know you broke above it over here on the hourly time frame, but as you guys can see, all right, you clearly do have this uptrend to go off of, and if you break the uptrend, you're probably going to have a decent slide here. And at that point, you can watch for 150 to be hit all the way down here. If you could break this trend line, that is what I would be watching. All right, trade idea. There you go. Avgo. This is one I really like, and I am waiting patiently on. All right, so you got that alert. We're going to put that right there, though. All right, guess what, guys? If you come down here, you're going to slice up with this uptrend. All right, so you're going to have this uptrend, and then you're also going to have the break and retest. And yeah, that's all I really got to say about this one. I think you're probably going to get buyers stepping up. If you don't get buyers stepping up, then I don't know what to say. All right, like you're gonna, you know, probably start coming all the way down here. Then we're watching the golden pocket. All right, but where are we going to be taking the shot? Right here. All right, and oh, look at that. All right, from here to here, if you know, if this is the high, guess what? You're coming down. The bottom of your zone that you got to hold here is right there at the golden pocket. So yeah, we're going to take a shot right here. All right, right here in the zone, right here at 1150. That is what we're paying attention to. The zone goes from 1150 all the way down to 1130, we're going to call it. A, B, and B, I just want to, you know, just proof of concept here, guys. You know, what we talk about. People might think it's just, you know, drawings here on a chart. Guess what? It is, but we also talk about psychology. And, you know, these drawings, they happen to look pretty every single time. And these pretty drawings happen to lead to some things. All right, so when did we put this on your radar? Well, we had the increasing volume here off this hammer candlestick, and you're finding buyers again in the golden pocket. All right, I wasn't saying to play it. Again, I'm not saying when I'm talking about these things, don't guys do whatever the freak you want. All right, you can do whatever you want. I'm simply throwing, like, you know, really good trade ideas. I have a really good track record. If you want to just follow along for a few weeks here on the YouTube channel, you'll probably see, you know, you're going to see us talk about things, and then things are going to happen. This is just another one of those. We talked about it down here with this hammer. You had it stepping up. Then you were over the 9. We started talking about it. And then guess what? You were literally consolidating after the breakout of this double bottom, which is going to put a target way up here on the board. All right. Now, do I have a target? No. All right. We're just saying, like, hey, you're now consolidating in a flag-like manner. If you come down to the hourly time frame, you had this rectangle. We talked about QQQ DIA's. You know, in SPY's rectangle that they just had in the daily chart for like 30 to 40 days. Guess what? Just like this one, you had this big breakout. That's why I think you come over here to SPY, and I really don't think this is finished. I really don't, guys. You had 30 days of consolidation here. If you come back to the top of that rectangle, I think you're very likely going to get buyers. 37 days, 24 trading sessions. Why is the breakout going to last $8? And tell me this. We had a range here of, all right, of more than 10 bucks, $12. You're telling me that the breakout isn't even going to match this range? I find it hard to believe. I think we're going to pull back. I think we're going to have a next leg up. All right, and that's the very next tradable opportunity, and I think that probably comes considering how Avgo is looking this week. As you're coming down to the 9, what I care about is coming all the way down here. But A, B, and B, guys, you broke out from the flag. You're now above this high. And now we have something else to talk about. You have a massive head and shoulders, inverse head and shoulders going on here. And it looks quite, you know, enormous and massive and beautiful. All right. This is an immaculate, you know, weekly structure we got going on here. And I just thought everyone should know about it because you're probably about to do some crazy things over here on A, B, and B. Just put it on your radar. All right. Just like we put that daily setup on your radar. We're talking about the weekly chart, baby. Guess what you have? You had a weekly breakout today. All right, guess what you also have? Talk about fractal, guys. So we have this weekly inverse head and shoulders inside of like what could be a monthly inverse head and shoulders. And this whole thing is just that. Now, screw this whole thing. Pretend this doesn't exist. Now you have a cup and handle. What I really want to convey here on this channel, guys, yes, we talk about a bunch of these cool sound things like inverse head and shoulders and cup and handle stuff. But guys, it's structure. Bullish structure or bear structure. What do we got? This is bullish. We're moving on to Disney. What do we also got? Very bullish looking structure. I'm sorry, change my thing. Very bullish looking structure we got going on right here, right now. I like the setup. All right, I like the stock. You just had your weekly downtrend break. You had your close. Doesn't matter how you draw. You could have it right here. Guess what? You just closed above it. I like the stock. Nike. All right, this one's looking reversely to me. You're holding exactly where you got to hold here on the daily time frame, like exactly down to the penny here. This is where you're holding, and I really like it. All right, I'm just well, not down to the penny, but you know, pretty spot on there. You got a hammer candlestick stepping up there. I want to see a volume spike on any breakout here, but this thing's looking pretty reversely to me. And let's see if we can last one more day over the 9, because over here you literally kind of had a day and then you fell flat. We do have a little wick above, so you know, some sellers took positions over there, or longs, you know, took their profits, whatever it may be. Yeah, so this is a waiting game over here, but these are the really good setups that I like acknowledging. All right, which now we're going to talk about something that I think is very exciting. BA. So these are the things that I will continuously let you know about. When I see these things, guys, this is for you long-term folks. This is for myself. This is for the people who, you know, have a ton of jobs. You have a job. I know there's a ton of people with jobs. That's what I meant to say. This is for you guys, all right, who want to sit back, relax, and there you go. Throw a big pot of money on the thing. You guys can, you know, do whatever you want, but this is kind of an idea that I had, and I really like this one, all right? I'm just letting you guys know. So, guess what? You could see what I'm pointing to right there. You could see what that arrow points to over there. We have like an identical setup, but screw that setup for now. What we're really talking about is the bullish divergence that developed on the daily time frame, guys. We have a 1, we have a 2, we have a 3, we have a 4, we have a 5, we have a 6. Hold down right there, all right? So 6 times for the past 4 years, we've had this daily bullish divergence. Now, obviously, it has to hold if we see price slice down under the 0.786. Tesla over here gave us that same warning sign. Your boy didn't listen to the warning sign, but these are, you know, remind you how things work from time to time. Guess what? We're really holding over here. I thought you were going to bounce back up, but guess what? All right, the fact that you were holding, that was a signal that you're going to take out the low or come down and revisit the low. So, you know, over on here on BA, you're holding up for now. If you were to come down and you can't really hold 195, this is what I'm going to say. We're probably going to, you know, see a really big slide here. You're going to come down here. We're still going to be watching for this signal to develop eventually, all right? Because, you know, it's going to be a big move. Regardless, for now, it's here. And you have pretty tight, you know, risk going on here. And even if you don't want to cut, I think this is a buying opportunity, all right? Because this is the risk to reward you're looking at, all right? If you want to keep the tight stop like I'm talking about, you still have almost a 5-to-1 risk to reward ratio. But right here, guys, you know, this is going back 4 years. Every time you had a bullish divergence develop like we have going on right now, they mark the bottoms. And, you know, people, I'm just going to say, news is what produced these upward moves. News is what produced these downward moves. All right. I don't care, guys. Here on the channel, I'm going to continue to remind you that we watch the dang charts. All right. There's a comment that said they're not touching BA until, you know, the news reflects what the charts reflect. I'm going to tell you the charts give you hints on what the news is going to be doing. So I'm just putting it out there. All of these other moves were influenced, I guarantee it, by news. All right, I guarantee that one. I guarantee it. So I guarantee if you get a big move back up, it's probably not just going to magically move back up. It's probably going to be off like a gap up like this. And at that point, you can ride it. So if you do want to wait, I'm just letting you guys know, be on the lookout for that news if that is you, all right? But regardless, from a risk-reward standpoint, from a trader standpoint, right here is where you want to do it. Now, these aren't sissy moves we're talking about. This is a minimum of like a 25% move here, 24% move over, you know, a month period. That's where you're looking at. That's why I say this for the mid to long-term folks out there. But also, I think BA is, you know, you have a solid shot at flipping the script right here. And anybody who is a short-term trader along here, guys, we continuously, like, you know, see opportunities to make a lot of freaking money in the market. People talk about AMC and GME. I was thinking this the other day. Guys, the chip stocks, all right, any of them, you could have wrote it up. That was way more than you ever could have made off of AMC and GME. We had like a whole month of just, you know, like just look at NVIDIA. We talked about on the channel back over here. You were right here at support, printing a hammer candlestick. People want to short the hole. You short the hole. I'm not going to tell people on my channel to ever do anything of the sort. All right. We're going to, you know, we're going to try and do the exact opposite. And, you know, I gave my warning against shorting right here because we had a hammer cancel. Like, it marked the exact bottom. So these are the moves that, you know, you catch these with a few weeks out, you're catching your AMC style move. You catch one of these, you're catching your AMC move on the breakout. You catch one of these, guys. We called it from all the way back over here. We called it from here. We called it from here. We could, you know, we were watching this thing. And then you get the breakout. And once you broke out from here, we were saying all-time high. And then once you go to all-time high, we had targets. They've been hit. You know, way past our targets there. And I'm just putting it out there. You catch one of these, this is your AMC move. BA, I think it's going to be heating up. Roku over here, you guys see my picture. I'm not going to really say too much about this. You have a potential inverse head and shoulders in the making over there. Shop, all right? Shop right here, guys. I'm just putting it out there. Trend line, you're probably going to come down here. If you break under here, you have a straight shot all the way down here. That is like a $6 play right there. There you go. All right, that's what we're really paying attention to. DWAC, but again, trend line break is going to be your warning. Well, this is your warning sign. Trend line break is your real, like, structurally speaking, that's your warning sign. And then you break this right here. Guess what? Well, these are sellers taking their positions here. We'll probably do, you know, anybody who bought this, you're probably going to sell if you break this low. Brings you all the way down here. So psychology is you break this level, you come down here. DWAC, we pointed it out literally the other day, right here at the exact bottom. Guess what? You are finding buyers stepping in. I was saying, like, hey, you know, I don't want to talk about anything controversial, but here you go. You know, it wasn't looking bad. Now it's really not looking bad. You're getting buyers stepping in. Now you got this little bullpenning going on. You're probably going to see another leg up all the way up here back to 42 bucks. All right, we can actually put that. You can see the level being respected is up there at 43.50. Yeah, straight shot. And guys, if you want to learn what we're doing here, if you want to develop this skill set, just follow along. That's all you got to do. Upstart, guys, potential inverse head and shoulders. All right, that's really it. I know you're kind of dying here. It is literally going to depend on what IWM does. And if, guys, we're getting indices pulling back, then there's a chance these small cap setups like Upstart, they aren't going to play out. And we're going to be revisiting these lows over here. We're going to see. All right. So, but, you know, we'll talk about it. Coin, this is one I just want to say. Buyers might be stepping in a little early here. You might not be coming all the way down here. Don't let me make you FOMO. Or, well, don't let me influence FOMO. I'm just putting it out there. We don't know if this thing's really reversing here until you get up above 131, in my personal opinion. That's going to be the neckline of this double bottom setup you got going on here. But you did get the hourly trend break just now. Or earlier, or not now, yesterday. So I do want to put it out there. Actually, depending, I just adjusted. You're right here, right? So let's at least put it on the radar. We'll be watching it. All right. And in the grand scheme of things, you kind of do have this wedge going on here as well. And that's not looking too bad. All right. But, you know, I'm just saying, I think you're going to come all the way down here. The 0.618 is down here. Golden pocket. You got the break and retest. I like it. All right, but you got over here on Riot, we got a, you know, you broke out from your base, so I'm just really going to highlight these miners here. You broke out from the base, guys, and this is, technically speaking, I know the news ain't there yet, but, you know, guess what? These are the things that we'll actually come back here. Did we have a base at the other bottom that we broke out from? Well, let's just put this out there. All right, you had this very clean breakout right here. Okay, very clean here. Guess what? What followed that move? 35% move over here on Mr. Riot. Well, Amara, you just had a base breakout right there. Did we have a break and retest going on up here, or, like, you know, a breakout? Yeah, you did. All right. Did we break out from, you know, your base down here? Yeah, you did. And it produced a massive move. These are the things we look for at bottoms on the smaller time frames. And, you know, we're getting that right now. I'm not saying it produces something massive, but, you know, you hold above here, you get back above here, got a pretty straight shot. All right, PayPal weekly setup. I think it's worth highlighting. All right, inverse head and shoulders breakout, but you also got the falling wedge breakout. I'm looking for price to come up here to 75 bucks. You're now retesting. If you did not play, you know, break and retest right here, now it's your shot to play this massive weekly setup. If you'd like. Tesla, last one I think is worth talking about. I know people hate Tesla right now. I know, you know, maybe I get some dislikes from even saying this. I swear I know what I say to get the dislikes sometimes, because sometimes I won't say it and then I won't get dislikes. But that's okay, guys. I hope you, please, guys, if you do appreciate it, please like the video or dislike the video. You could do whatever you want, or leave comments. Do whatever you guys want to on these videos. All right. The engagement drives, you know, these videos out to more people. And for that reason, I love you. All right. So I don't care if you want to dislike the video or like the video or leave a negative comment or whatever. Just know you are helping the channel, and I appreciate that so much. All right. But I just love you guys. All right. I love you supporters. All right. Because we have a great community going on here, and we're still growing. And I like that. We're doing some great stuff, but I just want to put it out there. Every time you've reached this RSI, this daily RSI level, you bottomed over the last few years. I know people are hating on Tesla, but I'm going to tell you right now, I think you're short in the hole. I think you're short in the hole if you're doing it. And I just showed you, right? I showed you on another ticker. I forgot which one it is. How, in the video over here, telling you, right? When we see certain things, we're going to talk about it. You had the bullish divergence going on down here as you come down to support with the hammer. But, Tesla, we're strictly talking about this daily RSI, baby. You're also coming down to support right here. All right. So, downside in terms of level to level, it's pretty limited. You caught your flush down here. And now I would be taking those profits. And, again, these are just things that I would do. You could do whatever you want. But if you want to short right here, I think it's a terrible move. And again, that's just an opinion. And that's that. I think you're short in the hole if you're short in Tesla right now. All right. Congratulations if you caught this massive move. Congrats. All right. Let's actually look at something. Did you catch the golden pocket? It was the golden pocket right there all along here on the weekly time frame. You got to be, oh, but freaking kidding me. All right. But you come over here. All right. Guess what? Golden pocket test. Okay. Let's try and see. Do we have another one right here? Oh, what happened? Golden pocket test. You held right here at the 0.786. Guess what? All right. We'll see if we can get past it on this time. If that is the low of this cycle, let's see if we can get past the 0.786 above 240, 250-ish. Guys, we're bullish. We're coming up to $300. All right. That's my Tesla analysis. With that being said, I will catch y'all in the next one. Everybody have a lovely rest of your weekend, and peace.